Hey Nintendo fans, it's Jaywitz here with quite possibly one of my craziest sponsorship videos ever. Over the past few years, I've had a couple of times to talk about how much I love a fun racing game, either through my habitual love of Mario Kart 8. Just last year, Fast Racing Neo was one of my top 10 games of the year, and probably the biggest surprise on the year for me. And even this year, I've been able to talk about games like Kirby Air Ride and F-Zero GX in my underrated top 10 GameCube games video. So, when Anki came to me with Anki Overdrive, telling me that it was a robot-powered racing game that you can play both in real life and on your phone at the same time, asked me if I'd be willing to check it out, I said, heck yeah! It's actually an awesome experience, and I want to show you guys what we built.
It's honestly hard to describe Anki Overdrive. It's part physical car racer, part video game, and the entire time I was shocked at how seamlessly it all worked. In the real world, you get pieces that resemble your traditional miniature car racers, with some unique cars and individual pieces of track. This is by far the easiest racing track I've ever assembled. The pieces clip together magnetically, making it really nice to just construct and take apart. They give you a handful of starter track ideas to use from the starter kit box, so I went with the one on the front of the package that uses multiple heights of track. As for the cars, they're controlled by the Anki Overdrive app. I assumed there would be some kind of specific connection setting you had to do, but the app just instantly recognized all 4 cars that I had in the room and allowed me to pick one. I guess the cars connect over Bluetooth, but don't specifically use Bluetooth profiles, which makes it pretty instantaneous. Once you start your first races, the magic sort of just happens. The cars slowly move on their own to scan and track whatever you've placed down, and then once the scan is done, the cars automatically line up at the starting line. You use the app to control your car, using the gauge at the left to control your speed and tilting your phone to cross from lane to lane. Your car will always attempt to follow the track, but it's up to you to navigate, take inside lanes, and outmaneuver your opponents. It seems like a digital take on slot car racing, but with 2 really big differences that make it a unique experience. The first is weapons. Each car actually has their own unique stats and weaponry that affect the way you play the game. The attacks happen digitally, but they have a physical effect on the cars on the track, such as shutting them down, turning them around, or changing your speed. Each car has their own specialties. Ground Shock started out with a pulse attack that attacked a small area of effect around the car, while Skull instantly fired in a straight line forward, kind of like a sniper. It took me some time to get used to using attacks that you don't actually see in real life, but the cars do light up in different ways when you fire and take damage, which lets you know when you're doing things correctly. The second huge difference for this game over other physical car racers is that there's AI. Your phone can transmit information to more than just one car at once. In fact, you could race with 3 other cars that control completely differently based on which AI personality has a hold of them. It's a bizarre experience battling against robot opponents in the physical world, but it surprisingly works. Anki Overdrive has an entire campaign with a ton of different challengers, each one with their own unique battle types, unlocked challenges, and their own character-specific dialogue that they yell at you throughout the competition. As you complete stages, you can level up specific cars, change out their upgrades, weapons, and tools, and earn new ways to help you in future races. For example, early in I learned that the police car, Guardian, has the ability to do a quick 180 on the track. Why on earth would you want to do that? Later I learned that, just like in Mario Kart, there are a ton of different modes to play in, including battles. When your main objective is battling instead of a race, being able to quickly turn around is great for getting quick, cheap shots in. Skull had a similar ability that you'd never use for racing, that allows you to instantly stop your car with an anchor. Perfect for tricking your opponent into speeding ahead of you, just to get gunned down from the front. But if all the weaponry doesn't really sound like your thing, there's also a time trial mode where one just races one car at a time for the fastest laps, with no weapons other than a speed boost for you to control, while the other cars wait on the outside track. Anki challenged us to use whatever we had around the house to make tracks, so we decided to make a Mario Kart course. Here's what we ended up with. We quickly learned that sometimes science can go a little too far. The cars didn't always love how steep my question mark block ramp was, but in general, using all the extra pieces that they gave us to customize was my favorite part of the adventure. A big thing my wife and I enjoyed was that you don't always have to compete either. You can play together through the game's story campaign, working cooperatively against the villain, adding a layer of strategy with team comp without needing to be competitive with the other people around you. I can't stress how weird but awesome it is that these cars drive themselves, and you can even reach AI levels where the cars start to feel better and smarter at the game than you are, even on your own custom track. There's a ton of room for creativity and a ton of additional features that you can get outside of the game that we played, such as boost jumps, a new line of giant Anki trucks, or 4-way intersections for battles. Just like Mario Kart, it's a great mix of pick up and play gameplay that can still become absurdly competitive and explosive at a moment's notice.
And that's all for today's video. Like I mentioned, there's a ton of stuff in Anki Overdrive that we didn't even get to check out, but if you want to learn more about Anki Overdrive in general, you can check out my link in the description. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, sponsors help us continue to keep the quality of the show high, continually release content, and hire more people like artists and the editor that we've got working right now. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time with more Nintendo content. Holy crap, Sun and Moon is so close. There's so many big surprises I want to share with you guys that we're going to get to pretty soon. So, I'll catch you guys next time.